What's up, BoobTube? Josh here, Missy here. It's a Sunday. Um, Figured I would give you a small little update, and you can see uh, how much work we've gotten done in the past couple weeks on the car. I actually haven't worked on it at all this weekend because it's been really nice outside, and I didn't want to be in the garage all day. So yeah. So here's an update, and I'll walk through what my plans are uh, moving forward. Okay, so last weekend had some buddies come over and we stripped the car down, bare bones, dropped the subframe out of it instead of pulling the motor out. Figured that'd be easier since I need to measure from the crank over to where somewhere to centralize where the crank needs to be on the RX-7, kinda, sorta, so I have an idea of how to either mock up the engine mounts or have somebody help me build them, since I'm not a fabricator, but I mean I can do simple things. So motor's all tore apart. Next on the list is pull the wiring harness out. I'm gonna pull all the wiring out and depin everything that I'm not going to use, which should get rid of a lot of that junk over there, which is just emissions crap, bunch of solenoid stuff and everything else other than the main fuse box. Obviously motor and trans out, both for sale, don't need them. 1.8 motor, unknown condition, does turn over, doesn't knock or anything. Interior's out minus the carpet. So gotta pull all that out. Buddy's getting the window regulators since I don't need them. Then I'm gonna cut down the doors. I'll probably make a video on how to do that. A lot of this dash stuff is gonna go away. I'm gonna run some sort of probably an AIM or a Haltech or something dash, something that's got data logging in it, and so a lot of this wiring is useless because it's all stuff for the dash. I'm going to try and retain the column switches for like the headlights and the wipers and so forth, but everything else I'm going to pretty much ditch. Dash came out pretty good. It's in pretty good shape. I will probably, there's some bumps and bruises from pulling it out. I will probably sand the bad spots down and flock it and go from there, and I'll probably do a video on that. Trunk is still, oh, I didn't even know that was back there. Stuff in the trunk still. Still got random miata parts laying around that I need to work on, but yeah, other than that, sometime this week, since you know the Rona is going around, I will probably get down here and work on pulling the wiring harness. Oh, and me and the guys, the paint on this thing is actually in decent shape, other than like these spots on the hood. And we believe that somebody was working on the car and had brake cleaner like soaked into like work gloves or something that's not like rubber, or had brake fluid on their hands or something, and just like randomly rested their hands and arms on stuff and didn't ever wipe it off, and that's what caused the clear to pill up. But other than that, I mean, like if you look down the side, the paint is in good shape. So it's an interesting thing to see that it's done that. Also, this car was in a wreck, and it has had the right front stitched back in. You can see, I didn't know this when I bought it, but it's not going to affect anything because it didn't get anything that's suspension related. But yeah, you can see where it's like seam welded back together, or seam sealed back together. The only issue that we saw was this little bit of a wrinkle here, but that's in front of all the suspension stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that it might have done something to is the sway bar, but you don't run any tension on Miata sway bars, so it shouldn't matter. So you just leave it alone and it should be all right as long as it doesn't flex. I'm gonna pull these fuel lines out. Still got a lot of work to do because I want to take the chassis itself, and I think at this point with what I'm planning to do, I'm probably going to take it somewhere and let somebody put a roll cage in it, because I can weld, but I don't trust if I'm going to put something that's as fast as what this thing's probably going to be able to do. I haven't done any math yet, but should be, in the 130s, 140s pretty easily. I want it to be safe, and that's not something that I'm comfortable with doing. So that's it for today. That's pretty much what I'm aiming for. At some point I'll get started on pulling all the wiring and actually cleaning the engine bay down. I got to order some stuff to clean the engine bay so that it doesn't look this bad, and that way when I take it to get painted, I honestly don't know if I'm going to get it painted or if I'm going to get powder coated. Either way, it's going to be pretty expensive. But yeah, so with that, guys, hope y'all are staying safe with all the crap that's going around, and don't believe all the media hype. It's unless you're old and have precondition medical issues, then you're gonna be fine. But anyways, guys, until next time, happy brapping.